Dave Academy for another Hotlap time attack guide. This time it will be Spa in the Honda NSX GT3. So let's get to it. Yeah. So now I'll do a more in-depth guide compared to the Hotlap you just seen. So to open the lap up, you want to take a late, wide line through the bus stop, so it opens up, you carry the most speed going on to the lap. For turn 1, you want to brake just about here. I think it's just at the 100 board on the left-hand side. Maybe a little bit later, just in between. And then to turn in, it's just about now, so when you get almost a lit apex, so you get the best run out towards the Rouge. You don't want to use the outside curbing here, it'll mess with the car and traction control. So just try and use the tarmac when possible. Immediately point the car towards the inside as you start to climb towards a Rouge, or go down towards a Rouge. Hug the wall to the inside. And then here it differs depending on car. So if the car is quite steady or on the limit, I would try and avoid the curb on the right hand side, on the inside of the Rouge. For a car which is bottoming out quite a lot, like the McLaren for instance, I would try and also just dart towards the inside, because about here it will start to bottom out and you'll never get close to the inside. But it is dependent on the car. The most you can cut is about this much here. So yeah, roughly around here is the most you can cut at the top of the hill. You just want to try and straight line the exit so you carry the most speed with the least resistance down the straight. So heading down to, which would be technically turn 4 or 5. You want to brake, most cars you want to brake just at the 100 board, or just at the start of the curbing here. Some cars like using the curb on the outside, others don't, but you could use a brake on the curb here. You want to turn in, and then the apex is not the actual curb, it's the inside green right here. You want to try and cut as much, and it opens up the left-hander. And then depending on car as well, you can either just go on the edge of the curbing, or you could even cut most of the AstroTurf as well to open up this right-hander coming up. Try and use all the road on the left, and then you can use the curbing on the right to help rotate the car around. Around about here is as far as you can go without getting an off track or your lap invalidated. Also, some cars also bottom out and snap. It's from how the curbing is. You want to brake here as well, just at the start of the curb on the left-hand side. And then instead of taking a conventional line, you want to dart straight towards the apex here, and don't hug the apex round. You want to almost double apex it, and almost brake late. So you come back round about here, and also a rookie mistake would be using the curbing and track on the outside here. You actually want to position yourself in the middle of the road, exiting it, so then you get the best line going into no name, and the car is balanced for that. But here at second gear, you want to kiss the curbing on the inside, but don't use the green inside curb, and take it nice and wide. About here is roughly around how much you can take without invalidating your lap again as well. Now we come down to pull-on. So, as I said, depending on the car, it either will like or not like using the curb on the outside, but most do. And just about halfway through the curbing, or brake, downshift, and then turn in. And some cars you can take the throttle quite early, some almost all the way up to here is when you'd actually have to be able to go in the throttle. But at the most part, it's basically a double apex. You kiss the curbing on the inside there, or just miss it, as long as you don't run too wide and scrub off speed. For a piff path, or a brake just at the start of the curb on the left. And then same for the hairpin a few corners back. Instead of taking the conventional line, you want to dart towards the apex while trail braking, and then hug the cambered inside here, not actually touching the curb, just on the white line. And then for the second apex, you want to actually use the curbing to help rotate the car, and then use all the runoff on the outside as well. Not too much, because you can invalidate your lap still. Same here as well, start braking just at the start of the curb on the left-hand side, and the same for piff path and the hairpin. You want to actually dart towards the apex instead of just taking a conventional line, and then get on the throttle early, and you can almost run as wide as possible. You do get invalidated just at the edge. And then if you're a Stavolo, this is one of the most important corners. You want to take this flat out 100% in any car. So just as you get past the apex, you'd upshift in most cars, and then just about here is as wide as you can go without actually invalidating the lap. And this is probably where most off tracks happen in a race alongside a Rouge, but most of the time it's here. And then after that, that's sector 2 basically done, and you work your way back up to the start finish line. So here, this is obviously flat out. You know, like you want to try and just take the path of least resistance. You can take all the curbing and even stay on the green paint, like it won't invalidate the lap. And then brake just as the track is rubbered in. You can also angle the car to the left to open up the corner, and actually makes you brake better as well, because you're technically elongating the actual braking zone. And then for the first apex, you actually want to use the sausage curb. It will whip the car around, and then it will open up the left apex here. We'll try and strain up the car about now, and then use some of the AstroTurf, and then dive towards the line. And that is a Hotlap guide of Spa-Francorchamps. So that was the lap guide for Spa. If you enjoyed it and feel like it has helped you, then feel free to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.